Hi Dylan, this is Alan Cocker with ABC, former hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies and the Seattle Mariners. So we're going to take a look at your video this morning. First thing I always look for is that we're balanced in our setup and then all the way throughout the swing process. And for me, balance is keeping my knees inside my feet, my head inside my knees. And as you can see here, you're in a very, very good position. Okay, we're getting a good two-eyed look at the pitcher. Our eyes would be like at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock on the face of a clock, and you can see the ball very well. You can see the ball very early, so good setup position. Okay, the next phase that we're going to go into is the load phase. And the load phase is gathering or storing weight or energy into the back leg, the inside part of this back leg, this inner thigh right here. This particular point, this is where I'd like for you to feel your weight going into this back leg. Okay, you do a good job here keeping that knee inside that front foot or that back foot, and that's a good position. I just want to make sure that you're gathering your weight and storing your energy on the inside part of this back leg. Okay, as we go forward, we'll go into the final phase of the load. Okay, and the load is when the heel of the front foot gets completely on the ground. Now I'm fully loaded. Okay, things that I check for at this particular point are I want to have good equal bend in both knees. As you can see here, you're in a very good position. I want to keep these knees inside my feet. You're in a very good position there. And I want to keep my hips square to home plate. And you can see that you're in a very good position there. I like what you're doing with your lower half. It's a good solid position. Now we'll go into the swing phase of hitting. There's two parts here. There's a lower half swing phase, and that provides direction to the ball and power through the ball. And then there's a hands phase. Okay, so the first move that we want to make is with this back knee. Okay, remember all of the energy that you have stored into this back leg, the inside part of this back leg. Okay, now we want to transfer this weight or this energy forward into the inside part of my stride leg. Okay, that's going to be where power comes from in our swing. Okay, so this knee is driving into this front leg right here, into this area. Okay, once I start driving with my back knee, now my elbow will drop into a slot right here off the rib cage and off the back hip. And as it drops into that slot, I get into a section called the connection. Okay, and the connection is keeping my back shoulder, my back elbow, and my back hip in a straight line. Okay, as you can see here, your back elbow has gotten just a little bit ahead of your power source. Our power source is going to come from this back hip. When this knee drives into the front leg, into here, okay, then I get into this connected point. And as I said, you've gotten your elbow just a little bit ahead of your power source. So what's going to happen is we're going to swing the bat mainly with our arms, and we're going to lose a little bit of power or a little bit of drive that we get that we generate with our legs. Okay, so we're going to drive it forward. As I drive it forward, you can see here again your elbow has gotten in front of your power source. At this particular point, I'd like to see the elbow more into this position right here. Now as I start to go forward, my hands will move in front of my body. They catch up, they move in front of my elbow, they move in front of my back hip, and just as I get past my center of gravity, which is our belly button or the belt buckle on our pants, then I'll start to deliver my swing. Okay, we'll run forward, we'll see where you are. We're just now starting to get our hands in front of our body, and as a result of that, we're going to lose some extension with the bat barrel. You can see here your bat barrel still in this position. That bat barrel should be more in front right here, more at the contact point, okay? And again, I think a lot of this, Dylan, is just mainly because we haven't used our legs as well as we possibly can in our swing, okay? We'll run this forward to the contact position. I see some good things at contact. I see our hands in a palm up, palm down position. That's very strong. I see our head and eyes looking right down the barrel of the bat at contact. That's a very good position to be in. That's a very good habit. And it's very important to know that as soon as these head and eyes leave the hitting area, okay, then my bat will follow that as well. So my bat will come in and out of the zone very, very quickly. So it's important not only to have my head and eyes down at contact, but I want to have my head and eyes down past contact so that I ensure that I get good full extension into the baseball and through the baseball. I want to have my bat pointed right at the pitcher, okay? This particular point in the swing, if we had generated some energy with this back knee into this front leg, we would see a little bit more of a turn with your backside. And we can see that we're getting off our heel, which is good, but I'd rather see those shoelaces turn more in the direction of the pitcher at this particular time. I'd rather see those shoelaces pointing there instead of those shoelaces pointing down, okay? And again, we're losing some power, we're losing some force in our swing by not using our legs as well as we possibly can. Okay, we're going to run this forward. We're going to see how we finish. Finish under balance, all right? But again, the shoelaces are pointed down. I'd like to see those shoelaces pointed this way. And again, you know, we've probably heard the term squish the bug. I don't really like squish the bug because I think that takes us out and around the ball. But I think if we get into a habit of driving this back knee into that front leg, into here, then we'll get used to getting a full backside turn and a full release of the backside that's generated through contact of the baseball, okay? So I think what I would suggest that you do in going forward is we're going to set a tee out here on the outer half, the outer third of the plate, okay? We're going to put a ball on top of that tee right there, all right? We're going to set that tee just off of your front foot or maybe even just inside of your front foot, okay? And when we get to this position right here where our foot fully lands, right there. Now what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you in slow motion. I want you to drive this knee into this front leg. And I want you to feel the energy and the weight shift being transferred into the inside part of this into this front leg. Okay? Then as we go forward, once you've done that, then I want you to feel this elbow dropping down into the slot as it is right here, so that my back shoulder, my back elbow, and my back hip are all in a connected point. And now from here, the only move that I want you to make through the baseball is continue to drive into this front side, right in here. And now from here, just let your hands work in front of your center of gravity and feel like you're throwing the barrel of the bat through the baseball. And if we do this drill in a cage, we're going to see the ball fly through the right side of the cage. If we do this drill on the field, we're going to see the ball, we're going to hit line drives through the second baseman or line drives into center field. But Dylan, for me, I think you're losing a little bit of power just because we're not using our legs as efficiently as we could. But I want to wish you the best of luck, and thanks for coming to our camp.